Oh, hey guys, welcome back to another video. And unfortunately, my Toyota Tacoma has died. The car won't start. What happened was I left my keys in the ignition with the ignition on. So it just drained my battery completely. And believe it or not, I was going nuts looking for my keys for the truck. You know, luckily I have a spare set of keys. So I finally went in the truck, I looked, and there they were in the ignition with the ignition on, and the battery is completely dead. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna try to jump the car with this Peak battery jumper pack. So this can jump a battery, fill up tires. Then on the other side you have an LED light and 12-volt power outlet right here, and a USB charge, but I never use this. So this thing has always been plugged in. So I'm gonna give it a test, see if it works. It has a little switch here. So we're gonna put it on, and that's it. So now I'm gonna plug it in. Okay guys, so here's the battery that's dead. It's got a little oil on it. So what you want to do is you want to take the battery pack and remove this from there. Just unwind it, and plug in the negative battery terminal, and then simply plug in the positive battery terminal. So it's beeping. So let's see if it starts. All right guys, so it seems like this battery pack, over the years, the battery just died, I guess from being on the charger. So I would not recommend buying one of these Peak cheap battery packs. You probably have to get a good battery pack. So what I'm gonna do with this is just throw it out. There's probably a battery in there you can scrap out, maybe scrap this wire, but you know, here we go. A nice product like this with an air charger, all these other charging devices, and the thing doesn't work. I never used it. So this thing was like 98 bucks new, you know, and then bam. Over the years, never used it, died. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna jump this car the old fashioned way. Let's do that. All right guys, so what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do this the old fashioned way with jumper cables and a loaner car and a donor car. So we're gonna use a Subaru Outback V6, should have enough power to jump the Toyota Tacoma V6. All right, so they both have about the same horsepower, same displacement, so it should be okay. You probably wouldn't be able to jump this car if you had, let's say, like a 1.5 liter turbo with a little tiny battery. The only way you could probably do that is if you actually charge the battery with the car. So like the guy would have to sit in the car, your helper, and probably charge the battery, revving the engine for like 10 minutes to throw some current into the battery. Then perhaps a smaller battery is gonna jump this, because this battery is completely dead. I mean, it is shot. If the battery had some kind of charge to it, not completely dead like this, you may be able to get away with starting the car with a smaller engine, like a 2-liter engine, something like that, because those engines just don't have the alternators and the amperage in the batteries to jump a big engine like this that needs a lot of amperage, like 800 amps. So a smaller battery, which is probably like 450 amps, because the engine is just smaller, so you don't need that much power to start the car. So let's go ahead and get the donor car over here, and we're gonna jump this battery and see how easy it is to do it that way. All right guys, so here's our loaner car. This is a 2012 Subaru Outback with a Boxer H6. It's H because, you know, the engine is this way, it's not a V6. And this car has over 200,000 miles on it. This Toyota Tacoma has 240,000 miles on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the hood. All right guys, so in the Subaru Outback, you can see the engine is sort of like flat. A Boxer engine gives you low center of gravity, and the transmission is actually behind the engine, just like Toyota Tacoma V6 rear-wheel drive. So this is technically almost like a rear-wheel drive engine. So here's the battery. So we're gonna hook this up to the battery here, and we're gonna give the Tacoma a little charge for about 2-3 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and start. It should probably start right away. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the positive and negative terminals to the Subaru. So we're gonna find the positive and the negative. So now we're gonna take the other end of the jumper cables and connect it to the Tacoma the same way. Red goes to positive terminal and black goes to negative terminal, because all you're technically doing is grounding the black one. So you could technically put it like on a piece of metal, but if it fits on the negative terminal, go ahead and do that. So now we're gonna let the car charge the battery. We're gonna let the Subaru charge the battery in the Tacoma for about 5 minutes, because we don't want to because there's no amperage, but it probably can start off the alternator, giving juice through the system, and the Tacoma will take the energy that's in this car and start this car. All right, so there you could see the positive terminal is on the positive terminal, and usually cars have like these covers that go over the positive terminal. There's a plus here. So that'll tell you immediately that this is the positive terminal, and it has some other things going off the positive terminal. The negative terminal just simply has a wire that goes to the negative terminal, and they usually don't cover it. So that's how you connect it. They just simply come on and off. So just taking a quick look at the Tacoma, here you see again it has the red cover to cover the positive terminal, you know, so no water or anything gets in there. And there's the black, that's the ground. You can actually put the black on the red as long as you have the same color on the same poles. So that's the negative pole, this is the positive pole. And there's more wires that go to the positive, because through the positive it powers other features within the car. So I think the car, the Subaru has charged the Tacoma enough. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna give it a quick start and see if it starts the car. Okay, so you can hear the bell ringing, the chimes, I guess, in the car. That's telling you that there is power going to the truck. All the lights are on in the truck. And there you go. All right, guys, so here we go. The Tacoma started right up, because this battery is a pretty good battery. It's not that old, so you can charge it and start it easily, even if it was completely drained. So what you do now is you just simply disconnect the cables like that. Take the negative off. Because what'll happen is if you don't disconnect the cables and take the negative off, you can get a spark and maybe start a short somewhere, you know, like short the car out somehow. But everything went well. You just take the cables off. We're gonna roll these up like that, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna leave the Tacoma running for a little while. The Subaru's all done. Thank you, Subaru, for the jump, because these are sort of like engines, and it would have been a great start. Like a 6-cylinder can easily start a 4-cylinder, no problem. But you can go to a 6 to an 8, but to go from a small 4-cylinder to a 6 or an 8 is pretty difficult. That's why I recommend you should get AAA, because if you're not able to do something like this or start your car, AAA will come and jump your car. And if your battery's completely dead, you can actually buy a battery off of AAA and you can be on your way. Thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for some more videos. And don't forget to ring that bell.